personally believe that no one's experience of enlightenment will be the exact same. We all have our own perceptions and ways of viewing life in both the material and spiritual worlds. From my perception, I view enlightenment to be an experience of love and connecting to your truest self. We have two ways of experiencing life: through love, which is our higher self, or through the ego, which is our lower self. I consider love to be a force more powerful than myself, which I also call God, the divine, the universe, or source energy. I believe this source to be positive, peaceful, non-judgmental, fearless, blissful, and selfless. I believe the ego, or the lower self, to be negative, unkind, judgmental, impatient, and selfish. As human beings, we all have moments where we fall short to our ego, but what matters is that we reconnect ourselves back to love. On my journey into enlightenment, I had to lose myself and my lower self to bring myself back to my light. My 3.5 year of college, I developed anxiety, and at this point, I had been in school this whole time without taking any breaks, all while working, completing internships, and stepping into adulthood. Before I became burnt out, I was a naturally happy and peaceful person. But in that 3.5 year period of time, I lost a sense of balancing and taking care of myself. I knew how important it was to take care of my physical health, but lacked the knowledge and importance of balancing my mental and spiritual health as well. So when I first started to develop anxiety, I noticed myself going into a mind fog. I was very unhappy. I was stressed out, and I noticed myself overthinking negative thoughts. And this was a different type of stress I was experiencing. And since this was a different type of stress, I started picking up bad habits such as eating junk food more than normal and wanting to drink alcohol to cope with the stress. And over time, the anxiety got worse. I started to develop panic attacks. And if you've ever experienced a panic attack, you know it's not a good feeling. I remember the first night I had one. I remember waking up out of my sleep to my heart beating out of my chest. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I was crying. I didn't know what to do. And at that time, my parents were out of town, so I couldn't call them and talk to them. So I got up, pacing the floor, trying to calm myself down, but I think I made myself get more anxious and worse by walking around in circles. So about 4 in the morning, I ended up calling my boyfriend, and I said, please take me to the hospital. I think I'm having a heart attack. So when I got there, they ran tests, they did chest scans, and they said, you're normal, there's nothing wrong with you. But in my head, I'm like, there's something going on. I feel like I'm having a heart attack, and I can't control my thoughts. So after that night, I still had anxiety, and I still had the panic attack symptoms, especially moments when I would be driving in the car. I remember having to pull over on the highway to calm myself down because I would end up having a panic attack while driving. So I would either call my family member or just try to calm myself down so I can continue my drive. But in the dark times, in the midst of the anxiety and fear, I heard a quiet voice within speak to me. And she said, Lavia, this is not you. This is not who you are, and there is a way out of this. That quiet voice within was the divine higher power, my intuition. And your divine spirit is always there with you, loving you, and guiding you on this journey. But it takes a moment of quietness and stillness to hear that voice within. So step by step, I started to listen to that voice within, and she guided me into enlightenment by teaching me to honor my mind, body, and spirit. So first on my path into enlightenment, she said, it's time to take care of your body. Your body is your home during this human experience, and it's so important to honor that. So I began eating healthier, exercising, and trying to get much rest as possible whenever I could. I was also guided into taking natural health products to stop the panic attack symptoms. All of these things helped, but I still lack control over my mind. So my divine spirit spoke to me again, and she said, it's time to rewire that way of thinking. It's time to become positive again. She said, the negative thoughts that you're thinking have a major impact on your mental well-being. So I literally had to relearn how to think positive. So I went and searched for books, and in these books, gratitude was the tool that stuck out to me the most. So I began saying thank you for every single thing, from my feet up to my head, from the insides and the outsides of my body. I started to become aware of life again in the present moment by saying thank you for everything that I touched, felt, saw, and experienced. And when I did this, I realized how truly blessed I am. I started to come back to life again. Enlightenment connected me to my spiritual awakening. And it was the most beautiful experience I've ever felt in my life. It's something that you really can't explain. You just have to feel for yourself. It's so blissful. It feels like you're living in heaven on earth. That's how good it feels. It's like the peace and love just overtakes your whole spirit. Enlightenment also connected me to who I truly am, which is the divine. I remember looking in the mirror, smiling and glowing. But it was a different smile and glow that I had. I finally saw who I truly was, or who I truly am, and I started crying tears of joy. I realized that I am light, I am the divine, the universe is within me, and God is within all of you. Enlightenment opened me up to a whole new spiritual nature and awareness of self. I started living more of an authentic lifestyle, doing things to honor my divine spirit. And my spirit loves things that bring me love, peace, freedom, and adventure. But connecting to that divine spirit within also opened me up to all parts of myself, which is the darkness within me that needed healing as well. So on my path into enlightenment, my spirit said, it's time to release that ego, your negative habits, your old wounds, your judgments of yourself and of others to finally evolve to that next level of freedom. And these were old wounds, judgments of myself, things I've been carrying around for years. And she said, only you can heal yourself from the pain that you're carrying around. So I began my self-healing journey by 1, having self-awareness for the things that I needed to work on. 2, having self-compassion. I got into meditation and Reiki healing, and I also started journaling on my journey. And all of these things helped me heal myself. And after I let go of that false sense of self, it opened me up to a whole new beautiful connection to the universe. I realized that life is bigger than me, and I realized that everything is made from God's source energy. Every person you see, everything you touch, life is God's source energy. And this made me more of a compassionate, loving, and selfless person. Enlightenment also connected me to my true purpose in life, which is to spread love, light, positive energy, and healing into the world. I started doing this by creating my own business, The Wealth of Health, teaching others to honor their mind, body, and spirit through my YouTube channel, and teaching mindfulness, meditation, and empowerment groups. I realized that we are all one, and that my journey can help so many other people heal from their anxiety and connect them to their true spiritual nature. So here's what I want you to know, that the mind, the body, and the spirit are all connected. And when you honor and take care of all three, it will open you up to a whole new beautiful journey of self-discovery, healing, and enlightenment. Thank you.